This trip was really rough.
Alex, Ebbs. Take a look inside your heart. Is there any room for me? I would have to hold my breath till you get down on one knee. Because you only want to hold me when I'm looking good enough. Did you ever fool me? Would you ever picture us?
Hey crew, so it is the day before my next set of A days. I think I spoke to you guys earlier. If I didn't, hey crew, welcome back to my channel for another video. For those of you who are new, my name is Bridgette and I'm going back to work. I did a little bit of meal prepping, which you for sure would have seen before this little clip, and I'm doing something that I never do before I go to work, and that is pack my bag the night before. I have a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, and I just want to make sure that tomorrow, along the long list of things that I need to get done before heading back out, my bag is not one of them that I have to worry about. So if you look right there, ignore the mess in my room. Right there, that's the fully packed bag from yesterday when I got home. It has not moved from that spot, and that's to show you that not much has happened. I really don't like working like this with one day off in between, especially because I commute. It doesn't give me time to recuperate, and quite honestly, I can say that I am exhausted, but you know, we have to do things that we don't like, and it is life. So I'm gonna get my stuff ready. I just wanted to come back and check in with you guys. My commute tomorrow is looking a little dicey, so I want you guys to all put out positive vibes and energy. Hopefully tomorrow I'll come back with good news and a good update that the loads changed and now everything is clear and fine. But enough of me flopping my gums. It's 10:30 p.m. and I need to get the ball rolling and get to sleep. So I'll see you in the next clip. Hey crew, welcome back to my channel. I forgot to start off the vlog before leaving home, but I am in JFK. The commute here was traumatic. I have airport standby at 4:45 p.m. It is currently 2:58. Yeah, I was saying the commute was traumatic. I was running through the airport. Then you have people on the plane, employees at that, who want to be loud and wrong, but that is a story that I'm not going to share. So I am making today's live, like today's vlog live, so make sure you check that out. I'll link it. And yeah, there's trips in open time. I do want to get used this time. Normally I don't want to get used on airport standby, but I haven't worked in a while, so I don't mind getting used. And that's about it. I will probably update you guys once I start airport standby or whenever. So I'll see you in the next clip. Hey crew, so quick update. It is 6 o'clock p.m. and I've done an hour and 15 minutes of standby. I end at 8:44 tonight, so as of right now I haven't been called. I think I'm either next in line to be called or there's one person ahead of me, but I can't remember, so I'll keep you guys updated. Hey crew, so I am on the shuttle over to the other side of the concourse because, well, first let me start off by saying it's 7:42 p.m. local time and my airport standby is supposed to end at 8:44, but I was just assigned a trip, So I'm going to the other side of the concourse. I was assigned a 3-day trip. It actually was an open time earlier and was assigned to somebody else, but I don't know what happened. So now I have it, and tonight we are laying over in Fort Myers. So one leg tonight and we're done. So I'll see you in the next clip. Okay, so quick update. A lot has changed in the past 30 minutes that I spoke to you. We are missing one flight attendant. Our aircraft is in op. We're changing gates. The new aircraft is not here yet, and we're further delayed. So that's my quick update for you guys. Hopefully it goes smooth after this, but who's to know? So see you in the next clip. Hey crew, where is my phone? It is 2:40 a.m. I just came on to let you guys know that I made it to my layover after many hours of being delayed. I have minimum rest, so I'm not going to do a crew debriefing tonight, but hopefully tomorrow I will wake up with some time to speak to you guys. If not, this trip is a lot of short layovers, and so far I did not start off on a good note, but this is also a good example of the flight attendant life. Things happen, stuff does not go as planned, and when being on call, you do and go where you're told. So that's it for tonight. I'm really tired. I have a headache, and yeah, so have a good night. I will see you in the next clip. Hey crew, so it is the day after this 3-day trip, and nothing went as planned. Let me just start off by saying this trip was really rough. I haven't spoken to you guys since the first day, and that's because it was a lot. So this is going to be a detailed crew debriefing of the whole trip, unfortunately, but this is also a good example to show you that not every trip is a good trip. Now, let me preface by saying, hold on, you guys are a little dirty. When I say it wasn't a good trip, in no means am I talking about the crew. I'm talking solely about the trip construction and everything that transpired throughout the trip. I wrote notes just so that I could tell you guys everything. So the first day, you guys know that I was sitting airport standby. For those of you who are new or not familiar with why can't I get my words out? With what that means, it's basically when you have to report to the airport depending on where you're based. I'm New York City based, and at my airline, New York City based, flight attendants are responsible for 2 airports, JFK and LaGuardia. So I was sitting airport standby in JFK. Depending on the airline, you sit a certain amount of hours, and if they use you, they'll call you and say, flight attendant so-and-so, we need you to report to this gate, whether it is just to board the flight, waiting for the crew for that trip to arrive, or if they need you to work the trip. So I sat 2 hours and I was called for a trip. So I rode the jitney shuttle in JFK to the other side of the concourse, and when I got to the gate, there was no gate agent. So I was the first person there. I stood there and waited a little bit, and I found out that the flight was initially supposed to leave at 6 or 7 p.m. I think, and it was delayed until 8 p.m. because I was given, okay, I don't know what the original, it was supposed to leave at 6 or 7. It got delayed till 10. That was before I was assigned it. Then it got pushed back up to 8 or 9. That's when I was assigned it. So we get on the plane. We're missing a flight attendant. A lot of stuff was wrong with that plane. A broken overhead bin. Coffee pots weren't working. Lavatory in the back wasn't working. And then we found out that it had too much fuel. So I've had past experiences with the fuelers having to come off and take off fuel, and that was a long process. So while we're on the plane, I'm in the back of the aircraft setting up the galley for service, and the captain comes and he tells us that we're changing aircrafts. They cannot take the fuel off the plane and that we need to change aircrafts. So we do that. We get off the plane, we walk back towards the middle of the concourse, and we wait for the new plane. Now, the new plane was coming in from an international destination, so there's more stuff that entails the process of getting it ready for a new flight than just deplaning, cleaning, and catering. So we knew that was going to take a little bit of time, and our layover was already very short. So with this delay, it was eating up into our layover. The next concern was the pilots had already flown that day a long flight, so they were close to timing out. There was a lot of factors happening. So we didn't leave until close to 11:15 p.m. Now, fun fact, while we were moving from one plane to the next, if they didn't call me, I would have been done my airport standby. But that's not how it works. So we boarded, we got there, had a minimum rest layover. I was too tired to I said got there. I don't even think I told you where there is. We worked JFK to Fort Myers, Florida. I was too tired to come on and speak to you guys. I was optimistic that day 2 was going to be better, but it wasn't. Day 2, we did Fort Myers to Minneapolis, and then Minneapolis to Las Vegas. Fort Myers to Minneapolis was smooth. We had no problems. Minneapolis to Las Vegas, we had a 2-hour delay because we were waiting on pilots. Our Las Vegas layover was short, so with a 2-hour delay, it made it shorter. So by the time I got to the hotel, I was beat. And the next day was a long day as well, so I did not speak to you guys. Now, go home day, I was optimistic again that it was going to be a good day. I always reset my day, even if the previous day was rough. I'm not going to take that into the next day, because what is the point? So, go home day, we were supposed to do Las Vegas to Salt Lake City to JFK. Las Vegas to Salt Lake City was delayed an hour and 15 minutes, and that meant that because we had a short turn time means the time from your previous flight landing and them cleaning, catering, refueling, doing whatever they need to do to the time the next flight is supposed to leave. It got shortened because we were delayed leaving Las Vegas. So we knew in turn that it was going to affect the last flight back to base, and delaying that one because the turn time was pretty much impossible. And then that meant it was affecting my commuting flight home. So we fly from Las Vegas to Salt Lake City. Then I had this wonderful crew member, shout out to Celeste, because she was dedicated to make sure we left Salt Lake City early to make sure that I could make my commuting flight home, because she's a fellow commuter and understands the struggles. But we had some sort of problem with the lavatories in the back of the aircraft and the carpet being wet, meaning that there was some sort of leak. So maintenance got on board once we got to Salt Lake City, and they were like, well, we're sorry, but there's not going to be any running water on this flight. We were like, what? This is a long flight. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I have to shut off the water for this flight. So with that happening, that meant that there was no hot drinks. So no coffee, tea, or hot water for service. And there was no running water in the bathroom. So we had to be resourceful, as flight attendants are, and provide sanitation wipes in the lavatories for people to clean their hands, because there is no running water for them to use soap and water. I have 2 funny stories that I wanted to give you guys. So the first night when we finally got to Fort Myers, you guys, I was beat. I was dead dog tired. I had nothing else in me. I did my routine of getting myself ready for sleep or to go to sleep that night. And as soon as I put my head down, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I shared with you guys in my last vlog that I have a hard time falling asleep. So while I have a hard time falling asleep, I also have the unluckiness of once I do fall asleep and I get awoken, I can't go back to sleep. So to combat that, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb with only 2 people allowed to, you know, basically still contact me, or it's my phone still alert me through the Do Not Disturb. So with my Do Not Disturb on, I put my head down and I hear this like chime sound that I've never heard before. It was not a familiar notification sound for me. And then it kind of alerted me because my phone was on Do Not Disturb. So it wasn't either of those 2 people. So I look and it's an AirTag notification saying that an AirTag has been found close to you tracking your location. So I click it and it literally shows the AirTag in my vicinity, like in the little circle, and it shows the AirTag going the distance from us coming from JFK to Fort Myers. Now, I immediately start getting alarmed because right before we landed in Fort Myers, I had my work tote and I was packing up my stuff. I closed my bag, and when I came back to the bag was open. So it put me on alert, like, did someone try and go through my bag? So now with the AirTag notification saying that there's been an AirTag tracking you, I'm now concerned because I remember that story of my bag being open. So I'm clicking, playing the chime. I'm not hearing anything. I'm in this dark room. I'm not hearing anything. I'm clicking it over and over. I'm listening. I don't hear a thing. I did that for probably like 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, you don't really have time to spare or waste. So I said my prayers. I went to sleep. I made a mental note that I wanted to talk to my crew members about it the following day, but ultimately I forgot until we were in the hotel van to go to the hotel in Las Vegas, and I get another notification saying that an AirTag is tracking me or following me or something like that. So then I remembered what happened the night before, and I was like, you guys, the weirdest thing keeps happening to me. An AirTag keeps saying that it's tracking me. It happened last night in Fort Myers. And one of the flight attendants was like, oh my gosh, it's mine. For some reason, it does it to one person on each crew that I work a trip with. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you said that because it really scared me last night. And as we're talking, it does the same thing to one of the pilots that were in the hotel van with us. So we all laughed about it. I was telling them how I was so scared in the room because I'm like, is somebody in here with me? Like, what's going on? End of that story. Next, which is a short story because I've been flapping my gums for almost 12 minutes now and I need to go. Next little thing is, I don't know what flight it was and what day this happened, but I was doing service on the plane, and my airline has 4 snack offerings, and I got to this passenger and I said, you know, what would you like would you like anything to drink? He told me his drink. I said, would you like a snack? He told me his snack, which was chips. Cool. He got lucky. He got the last chips that was on my cart, and also coincidentally the last chips on the aircraft because we did not have any more. He was sitting in the aisle seat. I made my way over to the window seat. The lady in the middle didn't want anything. So I'm now at the lady in the window and I'm doing my same spiel. Would you like anything to drink? She tells me her drinks. Would you like a snack? She tells me her snack. She says chips as well. I said, unfortunately, I don't have any more chips. So she's like, oh, okay, I'll take cookie instead. I think that's what she said. She then leans over to the man in the aisle and's like, you took the last chips. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And she was like, well, are you going to give it to me? And he was looking at her like, no. Excuse me. I just found that was so bizarre and strange. And I was like, are they traveling together? But like, they didn't have any other communication from that for the rest of the flight. So I don't know if that lady really thought that the man should have gave her the chips that were already open that he was eating, but it was just strange. So yeah, that is it for that trip. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe and see you soon.